Morning freaks, afternoon freaks. Fuck, I've had a massive day at work today. Let me know in the comments below if you've had a massive day at work too. Now today we're going to talk about strength training and what I actually do for my strength training and what you should do throughout the entire year for your strength training to make sure that you're getting stronger and faster and leaner and happier and looking good for your missus or your mister. I don't know which way you swing. You might even be a girl, or maybe you have a mister. I don't know. I don't really judge. Do whatever you want, but whatever's going on in your life, they're going to be impressed by this strength routine, for sure. Now, yesterday we talked about plyometrics and how you can add plyometrics in and progress them throughout a year to get really, really fast at one particular point in the year, because that's what training is all about, peaking for a specific time. And that's the same thing that we're going to do for this. And I'll try and put the plyometric stuff in here somehow. But if you care more about plyos right now, watch that video and then come back to this one and like both of them, comment on both of them, and share them all to your friends. Anyways, the reason why you should set your training up like this is because you do generally set up your running training very similarly, where you do like a base building phase and then like a capacity building phase where you're really trying to build out some, resilience and some endurance. And then you do a specific phase at the end where you're trying to peak for a certain outcome. And that's what we should do with all of our training, not just our running. That's how the elites do it, and that's how we're going to do it on this channel, because we want to be elite, don't we? Yes. Okay, so let's break down the basic philosophy of what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, so imagine that there's an exercise spectrum. This is where running would be, and this is kind of where plyometrics would be. So running is really specific to running, obviously. It's a higher injury risk, and it's lighter weight, and the movements are more powerful. On the other side of the spectrum, we have compound lifts, which is like slow, heavy movements. They're not as specific for running, but it's less likely that you're gonna get, running kind of injuries, like soft tissue injuries and stuff like that with them. So the goal is to start with this kind of stuff early on in the season to build resilience in the body, translate these compound lifts into strength in more specific exercises for running, and then push on to peak with more running related exercises towards the end. Now, this is my training philosophy to structure training in a way that helps us to build lots of strength and resilience and prepare the body for the training that's going to come up that's going to be very hard. And so what we're doing is making the body strong and injury resilient to then build on top of, just like a pyramid. Just like with your training, you start with the base building and you work your way up to specific stuff. But before we go any further, I'm just gonna let you know that if you can't be asked with any of this planning, okay, all you have to do is just do some strength training a couple of times a week for 20 minutes with some basic exercises. And that's gonna do so much for your training if you just do it consistently. So let's do this shit. Why haven't I taken my bag off yet? Far out. Okay, phase one is the base building phase. So we're gonna have 3 sessions a week. So we're really gonna be smashing the shit out of strength. Most people don't do 3 sessions a week, but we are gonna kill it this time. The difference is 2 of the sessions are gonna be building up your weaknesses and working on plyometrics, and the middle session of the week is where we're gonna get most of our maximal strength stuff done. The reason why is that we're trying to build resilience in the body, and we can't build resilience in the body if we're really uneven and we have lots of previous, injuries and stuff that are still gonna hamper us when we get to the more specific stuff. So we're gonna spend this time period only working on our weaknesses and building overall strength. That is the goal. So 3 sets of 3 to 5 reps on all exercises. Now, the exercises are mostly compound based stuff. That means that both of your feet are on the ground and you're using both feet at the same time to move weight, as opposed to something that's not a compound movement, like a single leg squat. It's a little bit different, a little bit more specific to running, but much harder to really load up and smash continuously. For the rehab days, I'm focused on my left ankle because I fractured it this time last year. And so the strength of that ankle, particularly with a knee bent calf raise, is around 10 to 15% lower than on the other side. So I'm really trying to build that up again, which I should have done earlier last year, but I just didn't because it hurt to do calf raises. But anyway, and I'm also working on my right hip, which is the hip that's been plaguing me for a long time now. Now, if you want help figuring out what you need to do for your rehab days, let me know in the comments below what issue you have, and I'll give you a general idea as to what you should be doing. All right, cool. Okay, the next phase is the capacity building phase. Just like with running, we're trying to build more specific resilience and power in the body to translate into some fast running later when we peak. But what we're trying to do is bridge the gap between this unspecific base building period and the peaking stuff where we want to be as strong as possible in a specific running way. So what we're going to do is translate the strength that we've built with the squats and the deadlifts and the lunges and things like that, and we're going to just bump them up in specificity, make them a little bit more like running. But first, session number 1, same thing again, rehab and plyos. Session number 2, we're going to progress to like split squats and things like that, where you're having one leg in front of your body, one leg behind, a little bit more specific to running, and you can get lots of really heavy work done with those. We're also going to add in some single leg squat, single leg deadlifts. We're going to add in some single leg calf raises as well. All this is going to do is help to translate that strength that we built into running specific strength. That is the goal. 3 reps to 5 reps for 3 sets. That's the way we get it done. Now, you're probably asking, why are we doing this and for how long? Well, base building is going to be 6 weeks. Capacity building, 6 weeks, and then a 6-week peaking phase. If we go longer than 6 weeks, we're going to incur a slight injury risk if we're doing the same things every week, but also we're going to get diminishing returns. So we want to maximize what we're getting out of these exercises, because strength training is kind of boring. So we want to really get the most out of it. Plus, we want to continue progressing as fast as possible. So we maximize what we can, squeeze that lemon as much as we can, get all the juice out, and then move on to some next level shit. Let's do it. Okay, Chads. Phase 3, the peaking phase. This is where we're really starting to focus on our running training and peaking our plyometrics, like I talked about yesterday. But the key is that we're maintaining our strength as best as we can and maintaining the strength of the previous injuries or the weaknesses that we actually have. Because if we haven't built them up by now, this is when they're going to cause a massive issue. So we have to continue to maintain these as an absolute priority. So the exercises are going to be pretty similar to the capacity building phase. All we're going to do is just spend a little bit more time with the snappier, faster plyometric movements throughout the week to make sure that we're going to be firing for race day. So we maintain all of those previous exercises, especially the calf raises. Very important. Calves make you run fast. So we're going to have plyos. 3 days per week. Absolutely insane. But if you've done all of this work beforehand, by the time you get here, this is going to be absolutely manageable and epic, and it's going to get you super fast. If you have any questions about what's going on here, let me know in the comments below. But there you go. Peace out. See you guys tomorrow. I got to go back to work. Can you believe it? Yeah, I'm already like a minute late. All right. See you later.